I drink, I smoke pot, we party by the end of the day. And it's a fun way to work. And then maybe smoke pot. And then, you get the stoner, dreamy afternoon stuff done, and that's a little more creative. And then you go out to dinner, and then you have nice wine with dinner. And now you're stoned and drunk when you get back. Something has to sound cool. It just has to sound cool. Like, these guys are cool. These chicks are cool. Whatever. This band is cool. The sounds that come in before the person starts even singing, I have to feel that they're cool. And that means they probably look pretty cool. They probably say some pretty cool things. They probably are self-aware on a level that I would think is impressive and a joy to chat with and deal with and navigate their idiosyncratic things that I maybe don't like about that person. Because, everyone has them. Everything's working. It just sounds cool. Love and Rockets, Tones on Tail, it's like, it just sounds cool. And then the vocals come in and you're like, God, that guy's cool. I love this. This is so good. I just love this. I'm hitting the dance floor right now. Or whatever. That other stuff comes at the night end of it. Then you go to sleep. At some point you do go to sleep. And then you get up and you're hungover and you're really sensitive. And you go in and see what the party monster hath wrought. And you get in there and you listen to it at, maybe not 10:30 or 11, maybe like 12. And sometimes, hallelujah, you show up and it's like, you lay on the sofa, go, just play it. And it's like, fuck, this is salvation. This is absolute redemption. This is exactly what I need right now. Print it. It's fucking perfect. And sometimes, most likely, actually, you sit there and you go, that hi-hat, what the fuck? How did we ever think that was cool? That's terrible. Fuck, that is bumming the whole mix out. Turn it down. Thin it out. Thin it out more. Turn it down. It sucks so bad it can't be quiet enough. If you muted it, I'd still hate it. So there's those things, that guitar, no, where were you doing it? And then you set about getting to work and doing the mechanics again,
So you enjoy the mechanics.
And you switch on. You gotta enjoy I don't enjoy these mechanics that much. I like doing drugs and drinking and like getting my hands in it, in the mud and the clay and this and yeah. Right, that's he can do that forever and not eat. Then Zia comes in, puts the support element in and some and all some more sonic environmental things, space noises or whatever. And then I come in, get the vocals done, banged out in the morning in a fragile state. And then by that night, it's full on. I'm high as a kite, and I feel fucking great. And I'm just the artist. Throwing paint everywhere. Great, like transportive sort of, magic. Or a lot of times scrambling or digging in harder on the guitar and laying the groove back slower, leaning it forward, singing harder, Lord, balance, and everyone's kind of doing it at the same time to try out where the groove's supposed to sit, how the mix is supposed to be, and then it locks in, and then that, if you can keep it there, that's what I'm supposed to sing in my throat, given what the PA sounds like tonight, given what I feel like today, what the band feels like. Whatever that is, it's that magic thing. And then we get it, and it's like stasis. Everything's synergetic, and all the chords are going. It's emotional, and oh my gosh, and again, transportive. It's basically all there is. That's my whole musical life. Those those two things. That's it. It's all it's ever been since I was a kid. I've been playing in punk clubs since I was 15, and yeah, been playing places pretty much exactly like where we were playing today. Harvesting my regrets. At the end of the day, 9 out of 10 times, it's just, you know, and then it's not, after a couple days or a week, it's not their fault, it's my fucking fault. And I still can't get it out of my head, and da-da-da-da, and I lay there, and the hand goes around on the tiny guitar that sits next to the sofa, and it goes around, and then it comes out. What the fuck was that? G to G7 to A minor to D back to G. With the and the words and the love, and it comes out, and yeah, boy. I think I saw an interview with Bob Dylan where he was saying when you get that, when you're in there, get it all out, and then get out. Or you're going to start writing stupid shit, and you're going to start trying. Get in and make it happen, and then get out, you know? So that's, you know, scrambling for the phone and trying to record. I was like, yeah, you did I, and you, and then I, and then you, and blah, 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 and there it is. And then, so while we're in the studio working, in the stoner afternoon, the you know, the dreamy day hours, we've been able to bash out some really cool lyrics and more poetic lyrics. Now there's a fog ere the sun did rise, I wander every day ghost. Like, I would never be able to come up with that by myself, ever. That would never come out of me. That's just a me and Fathead, like pushing. We'll try this word here, this, you know. And then finally, I just went, oh my God, you know, just wrote it down. Fits. It's one of the later lines in Forever. Whew, that's a good one. When noodling on it more in the studio makes it less cool less of the time. You go back a few mixes back, and then you go, you guys, that is the one. I'm sorry, you know. I used to be way better than anybody else. I've never met producers that were even remotely as good as I was, you know. If they were huge. I would never meet them. They were the biggest producers in the world. And now it seems like everybody's as good as I am, you know. I mean, I really have to work a lot harder on the songwriting end of it, I think, and the lyrical end, obviously, just to, you know, just to make records that are like better than other people's records. You know, it used to just be fucking easy, man. I was just better than everyone. Not anymore. You know, there's just great art. We watch The Godfather. It's always awesome. It's never not awesome. So, I mean, that's all that, you know, timeless. It's just always awesome, no matter what time you listen to it. Most art is reflective of the idiosyncrasies of its era, you know. And I use the term loosely when I say art. And that's, so to defy your era is to try to be timeless in the first place. And that's certainly something that Dandy's really made it always, we always make a big stink about. It's like, no, that sounds like, you know, at one point you did not want to sound like the Strokes or Jack White. You know, two of my favorite bands of all time, White Stripes and Strokes. But fuck no. Nope, it's too Strokesy. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's Jack White. You know, it's just like, how can you not be embarrassed to sound like Jack White? You and a million other bands, you know, and you'll never be as good as he is. You know, you're just derivative. So we always struggle to do that. And I saw a quote by Herman Porsche, maybe his name was Herman Porsche, that he said, in the styling of my cars, I seek primarily to supersede the idiosyncrasies of my era. and something like to that effect. And boy, that just blew my mind. I'm like, me too, man. Cool. Yeah, that's what we always did. And you're asking for trouble in the, when you're on Capitol Records and you're trying to do that, can you just make something like everybody else on radio? And no, I don't know that I could actually technically make a Strokes song or, whatever. But if I could, I still wouldn't do it. At least not until years later, when they're long gone and, they just do reunion tours every 3 years. So you can be a Strokesy band now. I might just do it. I might just make a Strokesy song. I've been dying to make a Jack White song for 20 years or whatever, so I'll probably do one of those too, finally.